Bible depository, but that God uh, gave them as Jews promises not yet fulfilled, and particularly their own. The Old Testament, the record of this oracle, contains not one promise, neither of or to the church as an organization. It does not predict a church. It foreshadows a kingdom in which the Jews shall be held and not lose uh, his national distinction as he does in the church. Now, friend, I think that's one of the most important and profane statements that has been made concerning the Word of God. At this point, great theologians differ. Dr. Adolf Saffer was a converted Jew, and he made this tremendous pointed statement. The view that is so prevalent that Israel is a shadow of the church, and now that the type is fulfilled, vanishes from the horizon, is altogether unscriptural. Israel is not the shadow fulfilled and observed in the church, but the basis on which the church rests. Friend, that is an important comment, and that's what Paul is saying here, that the Jew has a great advantage. God has a future for him, and his faithlessness will not destroy God's promise. Listen to Paul. And so that concludes that section. Now let's. Sorry. Now let's go on to the next section, which is verses 3 through 4. Apparently, I can put on a filter. I guess I discovered that once before. Verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? If some were without faith, it is better translated, shall their lack of faith cancel out the faithfulness of God? This is another objection that would be put up, and Paul meets this by going back to the first. Now, if the advantage of the Jew did not serve the intended purpose, does it not mean God's faithfulness to his people is annulled? The Jews failed. Doesn't that mean God failed? No. God's promise to send Israel, the Redeemer, was not defeated by their willful disobedience and rejection. All this promises for the future of the nation will be fulfilled to his glory in spite of their unbelief. Now, my friend, you may not like that, but I personally thank God that his promises to me do not depend on my faithfulness. If it had depended on me, I would have been lost long ago. Thank you for this, for his faithfulness. Verse 4. God forbid. Yea, let God be true, not every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. In other words, the unbeliever that raises this question is a liar, and God is going to make him out to be a liar someday. Why? Because the faithfulness of God is true. It cannot be changed. How important this is. John says, he that believeth on the Son hath the witness in himself. He that believeth on God hath made him a liar, because he believeth not the record that God gave of his Son. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 10. How bad is it to believe that God gave his Son to die for you? Well, I'll tell you how bad it is. You make God a liar. That's what you do when you reject his Son. Verse